I'm delighted to be here. It's my first user, and today I'm gonna share a little bit of some of the work that has been done in Latin America in the last 2.5 years. I have a bunch of co-authors there. All of them participated in this work, and they are from 3 different countries in the region. So my slides I already shared through Twitter. That's my Twitter handle, and they will be shared through useR as well. I represent a bunch of people, but I'll tell you a little bit about myself today. I have a PhD in biostats, so I'm a biostatistician or a health data scientist, depending on where you're coming from. I'm an associate researcher at the University of Buenos Aires in Argentina. I wear many community hats in the art community. I started as founder of Our Ladies Buenos Aires, and I'm also a co-founder for R in Buenos Aires, which is the general road there. And recently I became Our Ladies Global Leadership Team. I also co-founded and chair Latin R, a conference I will be telling you more about in the upcoming slides. And there's another community I belong. It's not completely overlapping with the R word, but it is related, as you're gonna see. It's the carpentries, and I'm also a certified instructor and trainer for them. So before continuing, I would like to let you know that this is a partial biased and incomplete picture of what's going on in Latin America. We are 9 authors from 3 different countries, but this is a whole continent. Well, no, sorry, it's a region that goes over 3 continents and speaks 2 different languages. So it's impossible that I can tell you everything about it. It's just really partial. So this is a map you might be able to recognize already. We are at the red arrow here in Toulouse, and I will be using this repeatedly in the next slides, because when I put together a concept map for this talk, it turned out that all the communities that I wanted to present were very related, and when one of the co-authors, Florencia and Andrea, looked at this, said, oh, it looks like a route, because there were so many arrows, everything was connected. So I said, okay, instead of all the arrows, let's use a city map, and where you can go easily from one place to the other. And so think of the streets of Toulouse as the arrows that connect these communities. So the story starts here with Our Ladies. And if you don't know what Our Ladies is, I encourage to go to that webpage. And so this is how the Our Ladies map looked back into 2016. And there were some purple dots even in Australia and the northern hemisphere, but Latin America was empty. So out of a series of fortuitous events that involve Mini Doguku, who is the co-founder of Our Ladies Columbus, Ohio, and also these events involve Paloma Rojas Saunero and myself, and you can read more about this in a link that it's down here, and it's not showing right now. I don't know why, but let me see. Ouch. Okay. Oops. All right, there's a link to a blog post where you can read more about these fortuitous events. So out of that happening, on January 23rd, 2017, Paloma, Dani, and myself founded Our Ladies Buenos Aires, which was the first active Latin American Our Ladies chapter. And this is a guess. I don't have a lot of data for saying that the foundation of this chapter in Buenos Aires was one of the first steps towards the invigoration of Latin America's art user community and its integration with the international community. Because when we founded Our Ladies Buenos Aires, there was not an art user group in the city. There was one that functioned until 2015, and it was inactive. So you're gonna see what happened next. Well, now, this is how the map looks like, and there's a lot more chapters in the north, but certainly Latin America, there's a lot of work to be done still, but we are in the map now, and I'm very happy because we are now 34 chapters in the region, and I'm proudly encouraged 12 of them to get started. And also, if you get to see, oh, I hate the links are not showing. This is a dashboard that has been done by Ben Uva. It's being done for the Google Summer of Code, and he is being mentored by Claudia Vitolo. And here you can follow everything that's going on with our ladies. So make sure to look at my slides because this dashboard is worth looking, but I only recovered this plot, and well, it's 20% of Latin American are ladies out of the whole world, so that's a pretty good number. And well, the presence of our ladies in Latin America encouraged also the women in machine learning and data science community, because half of the current subjects of this women community are intrinsically related to our ladies chapters in the region as well. But that it doesn't stop at gender minorities. Our ladies in the region also started bringing more conference and our related events to the region. So we had the first Saturday in Santiago, and Riva will be telling you more about this in the upcoming panel. We also started LatinR, the Latin American Conference for the Use of R in Research and Development, and this and also ConnectR in Costa Rica started last year as well. And this came along because the R Foundation wanted more events in the region, and so Heather Turner reached out to some R ladies and in the region, and she said, would you consider this? And certainly, she guided us through it, and it happened in 2 months. There was a very motivated group, and we had even a logo and a name and everything. That happened in 2017, and the first LatinR happened in Buenos Aires in last year, and this year is happening in Santiago de Chile. And so make sure if you want to come to Santiago, you're all welcome. And LatinR certainly also included some other communities that you are already seeing in the first keynote of this useR. I was so pleased. Julia's presentation was wonderful, but I was very happy to see the same communities I was going to present today in her talk. So because we are seeing some mirroring developments in Latin America. And so we get to know our OpenSci and the Carpenters through our ladies. And of course, when LatinR came to the game, well, they needed to be present in LatinR, so they were, and now the region knows about them too, and it's getting more involved. So you see how everything is very connected here. And also there were, for example, in LatinR, there were the R user group from Santiago de Chile presenting. It was an all R user group with a lot of experience, and certainly that helped other R user groups to develop, mostly following the good practices from our ladies with code of conducts and a diversity in the leadership. And so we now have R in Rosario, R in Buenos Aires, and R in Montevideo. Those are the ones I know of. So 3 new R user groups for the region at least. But Latin America speaks Spanish and Portuguese, and I'm speaking in English here. Most of the materials are in English, as you might know. So it's a barrier. English is a barrier for getting into the community, into the international community, and it's a barrier to learn R. So we needed to translate from English to Spanish. And certainly, it is happening. And all started, the first translations that we proposed were the code of conduct of our ladies. They were translated to Spanish and to Portuguese. This is a document that is key to build a healthy and diversified and safe community. So that was the first document that we translated in 2017. And then, but of course, more came along. And also, we asked Hadley, how about the translation of your book and Garrett's book? And he said, yeah, sure. And then, oops. a nice community gather around it, and Riva will be telling you about this translation tomorrow, so make sure to show up to her talk. And from that, and an interaction with the our user group in Buenos Aires, Datos de Miércoles was born, which is a close cousin of Tidy Tuesday that was just presented by John. So that, and Riva will be telling you all about that too. And this translation got the insight of the carpentries as well. They had some experience already with the translations, and it turned out that the translation had already started with Edgar Rees in our studio, but he was missing part of the infrastructure and the people to work. It's a lot of work to do this translation. It's a whole book. So through our ladies and other people in the community, we gather around it, and it got started, and the carpenters had to do with it too. And now I'm in a personal quest to bring more carpentries to the Spanish-speaking Latin American countries. There's not of the carpentries there, so I'm also involved in trying to get more lessons translated there. And when you have translations and a great community behind you, this matters a lot. I wouldn't, in 2016, I would have not dreamed that when our studio ran this survey last year for the Art Studio Learning Art Survey, we would have been third, Argentina would have been third in the world with answers to this. And as you can see, the rest of Latin America also got some good answers. And this was because the survey was translated, and we circulated in the community Slacks, and people just answered in a couple of weeks. So I was very happy to see this. And finally, well, this wonderful community and the diversity scholarship, thank you very much, brought me to useR today here. And I also am putting back my 2 cents in the useR 2020 organization. And I have this sticker, so if you want it, just make sure to ask me for it. So closing up, what happens in Our Ladies does not stay in Our Ladies, and I'm very happy about that because it would be a huge waste of a lot of talent. Also, the art community is the closest to a meritocratic community that I know of. You do things, you do them well, you are recognized, you're welcome. So my advice, if you want to get your community going, it's encourage the doers that come along, connect them with other doers, because having the network is key to make any community work. And also, please speak up, because you will be listened and welcome. And I'm bringing back Julius and Alison's art here because I really love this slide yesterday. So if you don't have your hand here yet, be sure that you could add your own hand. So if you don't feel represented, please come join us. You're going to be welcome. There's a ton of people wanting to help you get there. It was the Latin American case. I swear about that. Finally, I want to thank, this is a big shout out to the people that helped me be here today as well. It's Claudia Vitolo, Erin Liddell, Gabriela de Carros, Hannah Frick, Alice Daesh, Chin Ritan, Rachel Kircham, and last but not least, Heather Turner. All of them were key in the creation and growth of Our Ladies Global, and I wouldn't be here without Our Ladies Global. And it's not a coincidence I'm wearing the shirt. Yeah, I'm a fan. Okay, thank you very much.
This is the last slide. Thank you, Laura. Do we have questions? Loads of
Hi, that was a very nice presentation. My question is on, remember the first time you met, how did you have both ladies and gents, and were there gents who questioned why ladies and not men? I don't know, just...
Sorry, could you...
Okay,
Meetup, how did that go? What was the gender priority?
We cheated.
How did you answer the
Thank
sophisticated question?
I was scared to death. And when I got into this, I didn't consider myself a feminist even. And I was certainly not an activist. And I don't think I'm an activist. But it's a very machist region of the world, if you're not aware of that. So we made our meetup.com account close. It was not open. You had to tell us why you wanted to join. And that's the reason why I also wanted to translate the code of conduct. So the rules were very, very clear. And it helped a lot to blame Our Ladies Global for everything. Like, listen, this is an international community. I'm not making the rule. They are. Well, now I'm making the rules too, but shh. It was, it was like, we want to belong here. It's not up to us. It's what the first word is saying. It's what Northern Hemisphere is saying. You usually find it so cool. Everything that happens in the States is very cool in Latin America usually. So that's how, and then we have it closed, and mostly women came along, and with women and other minorities. Sorry about that. So when a cis man wanted to join, he had to explain why, and we made sure that he read the code of conduct, and there were a bunch of allies through. I mean, there were a few detractors, and then a lot of allies. So those are my 2 cents with that. Thank you for the question.
Thank you for the amazing presentation. It's really great to hear how everything came to be. As like a fellow community organizer, and especially with Our Ladies, how do you have what motivates you to keep going? What do you get energy from? How do you not burn out?
Well, sometimes I do burn out, and you get to see it in the global Slack a lot. This gives me a lot of satisfaction. I've seen so many people, not only women or minorities, everyone. It's very happy to have us. So that's what gets me going. And of course, there's a side personal benefit to it. Of course, this is not out of, it's a little bit selfish because, well, I got to come here, and I have students contacting me because I participate in Our Ladies, and it's like, oh, I've seen you on Meetup, could we work together? Can I do my dissertation with you? So there's the love and the selfishness, but there's a side that is selfish as well. So I think this is important for me to be hooked to the international community. Thank you.